Alright guys, so Pat at the Frog Depot, we're here in our supply garage, because that's where we do it, turn everything in my garage into supplies for you guys. I could do a quick video. We get a lot of questions on White's tree frog care. So what to expect when you order a typical white tree frog online. They're also called Dumpy's tree frogs. We get a lot of questions about that. They're the same frog, guys. You're going to basically get an inch to an inch and a half froglet, captive bred from majority of the places, so they're small. So care is going to be a little bit different than if you were to buy an adult, which are very difficult to find. We get asked all the time, do we sell adults? No, we use them as breeders. We don't typically sell our adults. When they stay here as adults, this is their forever home, so we don't do that. So let's dig in real quick to the care and what you're going to need for a froglet. So breeders like to keep White's tree froglets when they come out of the water very simple. That's the key for a lot of tree frogs. You don't want to put them into this really busy setup, this huge setup, and then they can't find their way to hunt. It's much more difficult to control the variables at that stage. So you're going to want to start with something more like a 10-gallon tank. You could do 3 to 4 froglets in a 10-gallon tank, knowing that you're going to have to move up from there if you get 3 to 4. So substrate wise, what I like to use is, here we use a lot of paper towels. We got to change that every day. It's very labor intensive, but we can keep frogs very clean and disinfected. But for you guys at home, I strongly recommend the cocoa chip. It's the same stuff I recommend for the Pac-Man frogs. Reason being is babies can't ingest this. You can use cocoa fiber, but again, you run the risk of White's tree frogs. They're very ferocious eaters. They're very clumsy eaters, and they could get some of that eco earth or that cocoa fiber in their mouth. So I love the chip. It's too big for the little guys to get it in their mouth. I would not use this for adults. I would switch over to that cocoa fiber by that point, and it holds humidity great. So that's for your substrate. We get asked a lot about heat. A lot of times the issues with White's tree frogs is improper temperatures, even though they have a huge range for temperature. Anywhere from low 70s to, I've seen some people keep in upper 80s. Here we keep ours at about 80 degrees. We heat the whole room. But you guys can't necessarily do that at home. So what I suggest is a under the tank heater for the froglets. They stick on the side of the tank. They don't go under the tank. This is a really great way to get some heat into your tanks. You should always think about putting some kind of thermostat on these guys when you're using them. So that's for your heating. So the second mistake I commonly get all the time is people, I say, we're troubleshooting, and they say, what's my temperature humidity? And they don't know. Or they use those little analog things that you see on the side of the tank, little circles. They're garbage, guys. Do not waste your money on them. They are not accurate. You could buy digital temperature and humidity gauges, very cheap, $10. There's a probe in here. You put that probe, the suction cup, where you want it to read the temperature. And you're going to want to put it, you can move that anywhere you want. It's going to give you a digital reading right away. So don't guess on your parameters. Temperature and humidity are like the two biggest factors with the majority of species of frogs. Don't go cheap on that. Get yourself a digital. So another extremely common question I get is UV with these guys. Do they need it? I don't think it's a requirement. Will they benefit from it? I believe so. Here, we use these 22-watt LED. Basically, you put this into any socket. It's an awesome LED light. Gives off really nice, bright, crisp light to your frogs. Ridiculously inexpensive as far as LEDs go. So I recommend these guys. It's going to help you in that faction. Going along the lines of furniture. So you're going to want to basically, as I said earlier, you're going to want to keep this extremely basic because of hunting. So for hides, a lot of people like to use these coconut hides that have the holes in it. You can hang them, you can cut that off, set it in the corner of the ground. They're very versatile. If you want something a little bit more luxurious, you could go with one of these. I really love these things. I think they're amazing. We have all kinds of hides now with the terrarium moss on it that holds the humidity. There's all kinds of fun holes these guys could be enriched by going in and out of. and they're ridiculously safe for them, and they last forever. So, and they're inexpensive. So this is another thing that actually something this size could even be used for adults, from froglets all the way up to adults. And like I said, we have these in various shapes, various sizes. I love these things. They're awesome. Last point we're going to touch upon. I know there's a lot more information out there on dumpies and whites, but we're going to keep this to the basics today. So supplementation. It's pretty much the same supplementation we talked about in our Pac-Man video. I like to use the calcium Repashy Plus and the Repashy Supervite. These are the two items I use and alternate every day. Now, the one that a lot of people tend to forget is vitamin A. Like we already went over, and check out that other video, the supplementation video here on our channel. Extremely important. But it's fat soluble, so you can't use it every day. They can have a buildup of it, and they can actually be harmful. I recommend putting this dusting on the any bugs that you're using basically once every 2 weeks. That'll keep them nice and healthy. So the other question, last question we're going to go over is, well, what do we feed them? Here, and a lot of breeders, we use crickets of appropriate size that we can dust because we're dealing with a lot of animals. Crickets aren't horribly nutritious, but they're not the worst food in the world to use. So they're kind of nice staple, but you supplement with gut loading and, of course, the supplements I just showed you. You could also do wax worms at that size. I'm not a big mealworm, superworm guy with tree frogs. People could do it. You could get away with it. I'm just not a big fan. So I like to stick with the nice and easy stuff when they're little. You can get a little bit more creative when they get to adults. So guys, I hope this video has helped you get the basics of the white tree frogs, answer some of the most common questions I get every day, and you can find everything that we went over today on our website, thefrogdepot.com, and even more stuff on there like decorative plants and things that you could use with your babies as well. Again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit that like button. I greatly appreciate your support. Your support in the channel and with our business helps out a small business, and that means a lot. Take care, guys.